Hi, I'm Lindsay Reiser. Let's take you to the White House, where the president is taking questions from reporters.
Very good talks over the last 24 hours, and it's very possible that we'll make a deal. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good to see you. What are the status of these talks? They're very good. Can you just give some insight as to where
Well, we've had talks, and we've had some good talks before, as you know.
Right.
And all of a sudden, the next day, they're like, they forgot what happened. You know, they're proud, like these guys are proud. Nobody more proud than these guys. Sometimes they fight on pride because, you know, they're injured, they're hurt. No matter how great you are, you get hit by somebody else that looks like them. It's very tough, but they have great pride. These people have great pride. The others do too. Enemies have great pride. We went into Venezuela. Smart people, great people. They have a really strong military. We won it very quickly, and we have a fantastic. It's been a great thing for Venezuela. The people are really happy. They're dancing in the streets because they have a lot of money coming in through the big oil companies that are all moving in. I was with ExxonMobil last night. The chairman was here, and we're talking about Venezuela, along with a lot of them. Chevron. They were all here last night. They all want to go there and elsewhere. We just hit a new high in the stock market. The stock market's the highest it's ever been. And I expected that the market would be down 20–25%. I was willing to do that to get rid of a crazy country. Crazy. The people, look, you know, you talk about regime change. Their first level leaders are dead. Their second level leaders are dead. Some of their third level leaders are dead. I call that regime change. But I thought we'd be down maybe 20%, and we're up. The stock market's higher now than when we started this war. And I thought oil prices would go to $200, $250. It's at $100 now. And I think you're surprised, and I'm surprised. But even if it went to 200, it would have been worth it. I understood that. We had just set a record, 50,000 on the Dow, 7,000 on the S&P, a record. And I said, I hate to do this, but we have to make an excursion down to Iran because we can't let them have a nuclear weapon. Look, and this is very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon because as tough as they are, we want to keep them alive. We want to keep all of you alive. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and they won't. And they've agreed to that, among other things. Yeah.
Mr. President, you've had some recent back and forth with Pope Leo. I understand Secretary of State Marco Rubio is going to meet with the Pope tomorrow. What message do you hope he delivers to the Holy Father?
Well, I can tell you this, that as far as the Pope is concerned, and it's very simple. Whether I make him happy or I don't make him happy, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And he seemed to be saying that they can. And I say they cannot. Because if that happened, the entire world would be hostage, and we're not going to let that happen. That's my only message. Okay? So they're going to go out now, and they're going to have some great pictures taken, and we'll see you guys on June 14th. But I know in your case, we're going to see a lot more. We'll see you probably tomorrow.
Of all the events on the South Lawn, why this event?
I think it's going to be the biggest event we've ever had at the White House. I mean, the White House doesn't really do athletic events for the most part. And these are all the greatest champions in the world. They're the greatest fighters in the world. You can tell by looking at them. These are the greatest fighters in the world. How do you think if you went into heavy training? Do you think you'd be okay? It'd be a little tough. Have a good time, everybody. Thank you. Never a deadline. It'll happen. It'll happen, but never a deadline. Thank you.
Keep going, guys. Thank you. Keep going. We've been watching President Trump take questions at the White House. It started as an event to promote the upcoming UFC Mixed Martial Arts Fight Night at the White House as part of the country's 250th birthday celebration. The president, of course, was asked about the latest on the war with Iran and talks with Iran. He said, very possible, we'll make a deal. The president was asked on the way, someone asked him on the way out about Iran's enriched uranium, to which he said the U.S. is going to get it. He also made some interesting comments saying he expected the stock market would have been down 20 or 25%, and that he thought oil would be $200 or $250 a barrel, and that it would have been worth it so that Iran wouldn't have a nuclear weapon. Of course, many people worried about the economy and the cost of the war on their own wallets. The cost of fuel, the cost of airfare, et cetera, cost of groceries.